Christina, you have that go to release your waste tether. Copy and in work.
And making her way to the work site today is NASA astronaut Jessica Meir. You've got an astronaut's eye view right now from her helmet camera. You can determine this is Meir's helmet camera by the number 11 in the bottom right-hand corner.
The ring waste tether is attached to the handrail inside the airlock below the UIA.
Copy, Christina. Check the reels unlocked and you can close the thermal cover.
Copy, in work. C2 reels are unlocked. Going for the thermal cover. Stephanie, I'm continuing outboard.
Copy that. Can translate to the outboard side of P5. Please check your gauntlets in place prior to crossing the Sarge. And then on P6, avoid contact with deployed and stowed radiators.
Copy. My gauntlets are in place.
Copy.
And the thermal cover is closed.
Copy, Christina. And you can also begin your translation to the outboard side of P5.
And Christina Cook has closed the thermal cover on the hatch. However, as we mentioned, the hatch itself will stay open just in case the astronauts need to re-enter the space station quickly. You can see her there on the left side of your screen, beginning to move toward her work site with Jessica Meir.
And I am at the top of the speeder spur, heading forward.
Copy, Christina. Sunset in 2 minutes.
Copy. Gauntlets are in place and I'm crossing the Sarge.
Copy, Jessica. Your green hook location on P6 is 5311.
Copy, 5311.
As we mentioned, these spacewalks are a continuation of the battery replacement spacewalks that occurred in October. Those were on the 2B channel of the Port 6 truss, and these today you'll see are on the 4B channel. In October, 6 old nickel-hydrogen batteries were removed and 3 new lithium-ion batteries were installed along with their adapter plates. The adapter plate completes the circuit between the lithium-ion batteries. Today on the 4B channel, 3 old nickel-hydrogen batteries will be removed and 2 new lithium-ion batteries will be installed. And on January 20th, next Monday, we'll have another spacewalk on the 4B channel where 3 old nickel-hydrogen batteries are removed and 1 new lithium-ion battery is installed, completing the work for the P6 truss.
"30 seconds to a short teacher's handover."
Copy.
As we prepare for a short satellite handover, you can see that the view from Jessica Meir's helmet camera is a little bit darker now. That's because the space station has entered an orbital nighttime. Even during these brief losses of communication, the astronauts continue their work on the space station, still moving towards their work site today on the P6 truss, where they will begin removing the first nickel hydrogen battery.
My gauntlets are done for the Sarge.
Copy, Christina. And your green hook location is 5388.
Copy. Company EV1 has dropped hook on 5311. Gates closed, sliders locked.
Copy that, Jessica. Next, you can translate to the EP, and I have 2 warnings and 3 cautions for the EP. For the EP wheels, it's no touch for pinch points. The EP grapple shaft and teeth are also no touch. Translate only on the handrails. Do not impart loads onto any ORU on the EP. No sudden movements on the EP. Maintain less than 0.45 feet per second translation speed, and wait until EP motion dampens out before imparting any loads.
EV1 copy.
Another acronym you just heard is the EP, or the External Pallet. That's one of the locations the astronauts will be removing and installing batteries today. It is part of JAXA, or the Japanese aerospace company's HTV vehicle.
Handrail at which I start that. I believe it's 5203.
Copy, checking.
Fifty-two 41, 5242. Let's face each other.
That's correct. 5241, 5242, and then 5232.
And I see you, Christina. I'm on the EP. Copy. And I am at Jessica's green hook.
Copy, Christina. And Jessica, once you're on the EP, you can stow the ORU bag at 7338. I'm sorry, 7328, or per your crew preference.
Copy, that's in work. And I see that I have crossed Jessica's safety tether successfully without having it tag on anything. So I am at my green tether hook of 5388.
Copy, Christina. Nice work.
A good view from Mir's helmet camera as she stows the ORU bag, or the Orbital Replacement Unit bag, containing some of the tools and the equipment that the spacewalkers will need today.
Stephanie, I have the ORU bag stowed. I will work on configuring the PG.
Copy, Jessica.
I have the hex head on the PGC. Good pull test.
Copy, Jessica. You can translate to the EP APFR.
Okay. I'm just going to deploy this GoPro, Christina. Okay.
As things continue to progress smoothly at the start of today's spacewalk, we are almost 30 minutes in. And you just saw Jessica Meir working with the PGT, or the pistol grip tool. That's sort of like the screwdriver that the astronauts will use today to remove and to install bolts that will secure the batteries.
Stephanie, I am at the APFR. I see a clocking of 3. I see Foxtrot, Foxtrot. I see Pulse, and 3 is set.
Jessica, those are good settings. Double check the pitch knob is popped out and deploy the ingress aid.
Okay, copy and mark.
A good view there of the APFR, or the articulating portable foot restraint. You can see the place where Jessica Meir will put her feet so that she can begin work on removing the first battery, a nickel hydrogen battery, to then install it on the external pallet.
Copy.
And Stephanie, I have the ingress aid deployed. And I do see that the wire ties are tucked underneath the boot plate.
Copy, Jessica. Those are good checks, and that's a good APFR config. You can translate to the IEA to meet up with Christina when she gets there.
Okay, and I have just dropped my green hook, so I'm actually inboard of Jessica. And checking safety tether config here. In hers and mine. I see two good green drops.
And we copy Christina.
Okay, so do you want me... Christina, would you like me to wait here on the APFR while you go by? I think we'll leave that up to Stephanie. We may just be able to translate out in series.
And we're discussing? Jessica, if you could go a bit more aft, and that should allow clearance for Christina to pass by and lead.
Okay, copy.
And Christina, as you translate outboard, be sure to route your safety tether under the grapple fixture.
Copy. I've moved aft, Christina. Let me know if you need me to move any further. Okay, I see you. I think that should be good.
A different view from a different helmet camera. This one, Christina Cooks. You can tell by the number 18 down at the bottom.
And one thing I will take from you while I pass by is one, a check of that I'm not taking your safety tether with me on anything. I go by. And two, a drive-by unlocking of my BRT RET if you can reach it. Okay. Stay where you are. Mm-hmm. Locked out with some slack. Yeah, I see that. One second, I'm almost there. Okay, stand by one, because that's translated on you. Come back here. Okay, it's unlocked for you. Great, thanks. I'm going to throw the needle between you and your APFR. And I'm holding my safety tether in, so hopefully it won't snag on you. Great. You're going to have to move more zenith if you can a little bit. Okay, there you go. And fix this, I think I got your APFR out of the all config. You did, but I'll get that after. Right now, though, my tether is caught on your workstation, and your tether is around your PPC. Okay. So with your right hand, you can see that's your tether. There you go. Actually, that's mine. That is all mine. Okay. Now it's free. All right. Nicely done. Thank you for the tip. Clear. Okay, I'm clear. I'm heading port, Stephanie. Now, your safety tether is actually aft of the grapple fixture, not nadir. Do we want to try to correct that, Stephanie, or? May had just said under, so I was thinking it just meant as long as it's not going across the face, but yeah, let's hear from her on that. Basically, right now, it's just aft of the grapple fixture.
I think aft sounds good, but let me check.
And it is staying underneath the boot plate of my APFR right now.
And Christina, and Jessica, if you see Christina's safety tether routed under sort of the nadir and aft edge of the grapple fixture, that should be good, as long as it's clear.
It is not Nader, it's Zenith, but it is aft, and it is underneath my boot plate.
If you two are happy, we're happy. We think that's good.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy with it. Well, we can keep an eye on it. Christina, I can always go and move it after if we need to. Okay. And Stephanie, just so that we can make the right assessment, the idea there was just that it wasn't passing over the face of the grapple fixture, just to avoid contact. You understand correctly?
You do, and also meant to not be in the way while hardware is being transferred.
And with that, Stephanie, should I go ahead and follow Christina outboard and then go to the non-radiator side, or to the radiator side?
Yes, Jessica, that's a good plan. And Christina, you're headed to WIF 29 to install the APFR to clocking of 12.
Okay, copy. I am at WIF 29.
You just heard the crew working with the ground to confirm the best place to attach their tethers to the space station. And a little bit of interesting information as they begin to move toward the work site. The primary reason the crew wears mirrors on their wrist is to be able to see the switches and labeling on the front of the suit that's actually out of view. This is anything from volume to their cooling settings to the oxygen actuator.
Jessica and Christina, Christina, once you arrive at WIF 29, we would like you to actually go quiescent for a period, and we'll have you hand the crew lock bag over to Jessica, and she can install it.
Copy.
You just heard Ground IV Stephanie Wilson talking with Christina, telling her that once she gets to WIF 29, that's worksite interface 29, she can go quiescent or take a little bit of a rest period.
Hello. Hi. you'd like, you can have the bag now. Sure. See, we can probably do a ret swap. Okay, yep.
Another live view from Christina Cook's helmet camera, and once she reaches worksite interface 29, she'll actually install the articulating portable foot restraint, just as we saw Jessica Meir do.
Okay, and it looks like back here, but I think my BRT ret has the clocking mechanism. Let's see if I can get that. No rush. And I'm seeing that pretty stuck in there. Maybe to pull out the APFR. Do you think the BRT that got caught underneath the... Let's see. First of all, I'm going to get my helmet light on. Yeah. Stephanie, Christina's helmet lights are not attached to her, so the cable is still attached, of course, but the camera and the helmet lights have been detached from her helmet.
We copy. Stand by.
Hold on a second. I see.
As you heard the astronauts mention, the lights and the camera on Christina Cook's helmet have become loose, and teams on the ground are now working through procedures to help them reattach that.
Jessica, for Christina, we'd first like you to install the APFR in width 29 for a clocking of 12, and then we'll work the helmet light.
Okay, and Stephanie, I can confirm that the width is installed in width, the APFR is installed in width 29. Good pull twist test and black on black.
We copy, Christina. Thank you.
Okay, and is that ret clear now, you think? The ret, I was able to clear it, yep. So I'm going to remove my BRT ret just so there's one less thing here. And then right now the crew lock bag is attached to the APFR with the two adjustables. And Stephanie, I know that I just have to line up these. Normally we put the lights and the video camera on one at a time, but I'm assuming out here I'll just be able to use one motion to put both and clip those into place.
And Jessica, we copy. Thanks for the idea. We're going to work the generic EVA Systems crib sheet, which has Christina minimize body motion, and we need you to tether to the assembly. It's recommended to use a large hook around the around the helmet Gilmer bracket if possible.
You mean the large white bracket in the rear of the light camera assembly?
Checking. Jessica, the gimbal bracket is just behind the light.
The gimbal bracket. Okay, copy. Yes, I'm familiar with that.
Let me know.
Now, I don't have a large hook, but you know, Christina, if I could use your extra waist tether, I think that would be perfect. Since you're not using that right now.
That's affirmative. I can give out for you if you want.
Got it. You hold that for 1 second.
Yep.
Okay, I have a large hook around the gimbal.
Copy. Next is to perform a visual inspection to see if there is any obvious reason why the light became free.
I'm looking at the latches. I can see the left ones clearly. I don't see anything in there. I don't see any fog. Christina, if you can kind of tilt down to your left.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I don't see anything obvious. I'm just kind of holding it right now in place where it will eventually go.
Copy, and then check if the light locks are still in place.
You can see the left light hook lock is in place. And I can see the right is also in place.
Copy, and then can you depress all four of the buttons to confirm that they're functional?
You mean the white lock buttons to make sure that the lock is in place?
These are the four.
Or do you mean?
Yes, the E-hip buttons.
Okay. E-hip buttons that will secure it in place. Yep, copy. Okay, I'm pressing. Left side both good. Right side both good.
We copy, and so by looks good, we think that means you're able to depress all four of those buttons.
Affirm, sorry for that, Stephanie. Yes, I can depress all four.
Copy that. We're discussing.
At 51 minutes into today's spacewalk, teams on the ground and the astronauts on the space station are continuing to work to reattach Christina Cook's helmet lights and camera to her actual helmet. There are actually already pre-established procedures for any mishaps like this, and teams on the ground are continuing to step through those as they troubleshoot the issue.
So Jessica, what we're discussing is that with the E-hip light locks in place, we felt you should not be able to depress those E-hip buttons. So we'd like to confirm that you were actuating the E-hip buttons and not the battery latches.
Okay, yeah. Initially, I thought we were talking about the white button, so that's what I asked. And then I thought we were talking about the four mechanisms that will actually put the the video on. So the white buttons, which are not supposed to be depressed if the lock is in place, I will check those now.
Copy, and thanks for the clarification. And Jessica, with that, we'd like you to try to reinstall it and see if it stays in place.
Okay, copy, and I can confirm that all of those white buttons are nominal. I cannot depress them.
Copy.
I think I'm going to need, because I need to try to line these up. And
Okay.
I don't have a good view right now. So
Okay.
I'm going to come up a little bit
Okay,
higher.
I can reposition too, so just let me know.
Now, if I recall, Stephanie, from when I put this on the ground or inside, I have to be depressing both back and front of each side in order for the grooves to fall into place. Is that correct?
I think that's correct. I'm checking. And Jessica, that's correct. You have to squeeze 2 on both sides or all 4 to get it to slide in the groove.
Okay. Christina, can you come a little bit closer to structure? Yep. Okay.
And if you need the BRC,
Sunrise in 20 seconds. Also 20 seconds to a 20-second LOS.
You know, it's really hard to get in here with the lights on. Right.
During a short satellite handover, the team continues to troubleshoot the issue with Christina Cook's lights and helmet camera. And the sun has now risen at the International Space Station, which is currently traveling 257 statute miles over the west coast of Mexico.
Okay, actually, I think, Christina, what we're going to need to do is get away from this APSR.
okay,
So let's both move inboard.
okay.
Let me slide ahead of you a little bit, and then go down one more handrail. All right.
Here inside Mission Control at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, you can see teams working with a helmet to determine which buttons should be able to be pressed and help reinstall that light and camera portion of the helmet. This helps ground IV Stephanie Wilson determine how to communicate to the astronauts which steps they should take next.
Swing your legs outboard. Yep. Okay, stop there. Okay. Actually, come back about. There you go. I'm going to get a BRT down here. I'm going to need some more stability to get this. Yep. Move a little bit more outboard for a second. Sure.
Jessica, Christina, thanks for your work on this. We think that with the light locks installed, you're not going to be able to get the helmet on the helmet light seated onto the grooves. So instead, we'd like to demate the power cable to completely remove the assembly. And then we're working on a stowage plan for you. We'd like you to have you stow it to the crew lock bag.
Okay, copy. I thought that I did recall that it was possible to get both on together, but I will definitely defer to you on that. Would you like me to demate the power cable at this time?
First, turn off, have Christina turn off her WVS, and then you can demate the cable.
I can get it, Christina. Okay.
Or Jessica can do it.
Okay, it's actually already off. Just cycled it to make sure, so that the WVS is off.
Copy, you can demate the cable.
And Christina, come toward me a little bit more. Okay.
Flight controllers and ground teams have determined to just remove the helmet portion with the lights and video system.
But it's on your waist tether. Okay, I see that. Putting it in front of you. Okay. Okay, so if you get a hand on your waist tether. Yep, I see that. I'll keep an eye on it. Okay. And do I need to mate the cable back to its ground, or can I just tuck it in the pocket, Stephanie?
I'm checking. I think that sounds like a good plan. We concur, just to tuck it inside.
Okay, Christine, if you can come toward me a little bit again. Okay, and I'm going to turn these helmet lights off. Okay.
Rather than spending more time to try and reattach the light and video portion of the helmet, crew members will stow that portion with the crew lock bag.
Copy. And for stowage to the crew lock bag, Jessica, if you have an additional adjustable, you could use the small hook to attach to the frame in the back of the helmet light, or you could use the large hook on the outside of the crew lock bag.
Okay, copy. We can do either. Christina, do you have a preference for the crew lock bag? No preference. I have an adjustable. What's our forward plan? Are we continuing?
Good question, and yes, we will continue, and we'll try to keep you two together as much as possible.
Great. Perfect. In that case, to enable us to use the large hook for the crew lock bag, I would say let's use an adjustable. I will have an additional one even after I put my fair lead down, so I can go ahead and bundle the light to the crew lock bag now if you'd like.
We concur.
At just over an hour in today's spacewalk, the team members have decided that the spacewalk will continue and that they'll try and keep Jessica Meir and Christina Cook together as much as possible during the work.
You know, if you need a hand with anything, okay?
As the astronauts work to stow Christina's helmet camera, a beautiful view of the Earth below as the space station flies west of Santa Cruz.
From the helmet light.
Copy, Christina. And Jessica? Copy, Christina. And Jessica, would you check your safety tether reels unlocked? We see, we're getting reports that there's quite a bit of slack.
Okay, copy. I see that slack too, and it did get locked. It's unlocked now, and it's reeling in.
We copy. Thank you.
Okay, and Stephanie, I'm ready for next step. To summarize, I have the APSR installed in WISP 29. You can read your settings if you'd like.
Copy. View confirmed clocking of 12, and I'll have the rest of the settings.
Okay, affirmative. It's clocking of 12, and the rest of the settings are Quebec, clock 12.
And we copy. Those are good settings. And you reported good black on black and a good pull test. Can you also double check the pitch knob is popped out?
And the pitch knob popped out.
Copy.
Wire ties are stored under the boot plate.
Copy the wire ties also. You can place your Richman fair lead at 5360.
And I'll move back to this radiator side, Christina, and I can give a hand with that crew lock bag if that's going to be the next step. Okay, I concur. Thank you. Stephanie, would you like me to grab the crew lock bag and start stowing that while Christina's working on the fair lead? I'm just next to it now.
Yes, you can stow the crew lock bag between handrails 5354 and 5349.
Copy.
You can see Jessica Meir stowing the crew lock bag along with Christina Cook's wireless video system and light portion of her helmet.
Some additional words without your helmet light. Just be careful with your translation, as you always are. You're missing that additional protection.
Copy that. And if you agree, I'll go ahead and follow Jessica up to the crew lock bag location.
We agree. Next will be ratchet wrench ops to break torque on battery 1.
Could you give me those handrails for the crew lock bag again? Was it 5354? 49.
That's affirm and 5349.
Okay, copy.
Due to the issue with Christina Cook's helmet this morning,
Outside the crew lock bag, that would be inboard of the gap spanner. That's on handrail 5354.
the astronauts are about 30 minutes behind on the timeline. However, the spacewalk will continue as planned. The astronauts will work in close quarters to provide Christina Cook more visibility, especially during the nighttime passes of the space station.
The one that we're taking off when we stow it at the end. Okay, and do you have a preference on inboard or outboard expansion? No.
There is one caution for the bolt operations. Once torque is broken on an H bolt, do not impart loads into the corresponding microsquare.
Copy. And just come right up here with you. Okay, and I've got the crew lock bag stowed on those two handrails.
Copy, Jessica. You can retrieve the ratchet wrench from the crew lock bag to hand to Christina. Christina, you can be in position for H1 on battery 1.
See. Christina, here you go. Okay, thanks, and just, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and get here. Might come back to you.
You overheard the astronauts and the ground team discussing scoops.
Okay, Stephanie, I'm at H1, and I'll be inserting the ratchet. One line flush, or tape line flush, rather.
Copy, tape line is flush to the H1 scoop. When you're ready, brake torque, less than 1 turn.
Cook is now loosening the scoops. She will then reinstall those on different portions of the battery that will allow easier handling between the two crewmates as they work with these batteries today.
And I got tape line flush on H2.
Copy, brake torque, less than 1 turn.
And that's complete, quarter turn.
Copy, quarter turn. Can stow the ratchet wrench or tend it back to the crew lock bag. Then we have 2 scoops to install, one on the DCSU on H1 at 6 o'clock and one on battery 4 at H2 at 6 o'clock.
Okay, Christina, since you're on that side, if you want to do battery 2, then we can either you could pass them over, or I could do the other one if we don't want to take them off this threat. Want to do one at a time? Okay, so it was DCSU, and so you could probably go down to battery 2 first.
And Jessica, Christina, and Jessica, what we suggest is that Jessica, we have you work on installing both of the scoops, and Christina can work on the PGT, configuring her PGT with the hex driver from the socket caddy.
Okay, copy. Okay, and I copy as well. So, one more time, Stephanie, the scoop on the DCSU, was that on H1 or H2?
For the DCSU, it is H1 at 6 o'clock.
Okay, copy.
You'll see various tools throughout the spacewalk today, but two main ones. We just saw Christina Cook use the ratchet wrench to break torque on battery 1. Another that we'll see coming up is the PGT, or the pistol grip tool. This is a drill-like tool that will help the astronauts remove bolts as well as drive them in to secure the batteries.
My name is and followed on my PGT with a good pull test.
Copy, Christina. That PGT will be attached to the crew lock bag using the RET series.
Copy. In work.
Almost an hour and 15 minutes into today's spacewalk. After these scoops are installed on the direct current switching unit, or the DCSU, and on battery 4, the teams will move to their next task, which is releasing battery 1.
Could you tap my camera free of... Yep, I see that. Okay.
Battery 1 is a nickel hydrogen battery. It has been on the station's integrated electronics assembly on the P6 truss.
Scoop got sucked back over there. See you? Got them? Okay. And I'll make sure you can pull them out, but they're in a good... Yeah, they're wrapped around. Okay. Let's get that fixed. Let's see what's going on here, so let me fix that. Okay, there you go. Okay, the PGT is embedded in the RET series into an internal D-ring in the crew lock bag.
Copy, Christina. And then Jessica's working on the scoop now on the DCSU. She'll have another scoop placed on battery 4 on H2 at 6 o'clock, and then the PGT goes onto that scoop with the adjustable.
Okay, copy. Okay, position. Okay, Stephanie, I have a scoop on H1 of the DCSU.
Copy, nice work. The additional scoop goes on battery 4 H2 at 6 o'clock.
And I'm in a good spot to do that one if you want to hand it to me, or actually just undo that adjustable. There you go.
In this view from Jessica Mears' helmet camera, you can see she has installed a scoop on the direct current switching unit.
Okay, I have a scoop on battery 4 H2, and I'll Please, this adjustable is attached to it. It'll send back to the crew lock bag, and then I'll attach my PG. Cool.
Copy that, Christina. Then next is a glove, hap, and gauntlet check from you, both when convenient.
Okay, for EV1, on my right glove, I have a very small piece of RTV that's peeled back on the seam of my index finger, if you can see that in my WDS. And left glove looks the same as baseline, hap is dry, and gauntlets are down for EV1.
Copy EV1.
For EV2, I have the PVC with a 9-inch head node on H2 of battery 4. And go check thermally.
Copy, Christina.
For my glove, I see no changes from the start. EVA. Hap is dry. Gauntlets are down.
Copy, checks EV2. PET is 1 hour, 19 minutes, and we are about 15 minutes down. And Christina, when you're ready, check the cap spanner clear of battery 1, you can ingress the APFR.
Okay.
A lot of good information from the astronauts. Christina Cook confirming that the scoop has been installed on battery 4.
It can be cleared of it. It will be easily cleared when we remove the battery.
Copy that.
The astronauts also conducted a glove and hap check.
Stand by, I'm going to head down there. Okay.
Astronauts regularly check their gloves for any damage during the spacewalk. And HAP stands for Helmet Absorption Pad. The astronauts check this to ensure nothing is leaking and that the inside of the suit remains dry.
And a good position could be on the radiator side.
Copy. I am there now, and I'm just asked of battery 1, and yes, I think the gap spanner will. Yep, it's in a good position. It will be clear.
Copy all. Thank you.
And more good news relayed up to the crew by Ground IV Stephanie Wilson. They've made up some time and are now only 15 minutes down on the timeline. Next up for the astronauts, they will begin to remove battery 1. As we mentioned, the numbered batteries are old, meaning this is a nickel hydrogen battery that's been on the integrated electronics assembly on the P6 truss in channel 2B. We'll see Christina Cook use the pistol grip tool, that drill-like tool, to remove the battery and then pass it off to Jessica Meir, who will soft dock it onto the external pallet and eventually also use the pistol grip tool to turn one bolt and secure it to the external pallet, where it will later be disposed.
You're a bit to the right, to the left, both feet. Okay. Is in. You just need to get the heel rotated inboard and down. Perfect. You're in the toe loop. I think you're going to have to bring it forward more. Okay.
These battery changes on the International Space Station, switching from nickel hydrogen to lithium ion, have taken place over the last few years on various parts of the space station.
Okay. I believe I'm ingress. Have a good view of your right foot. It does look like I can see that your right foot's in. Okay. And I am looking at battery serial number 0104.
Copy 0104. Check the ingress aid stowed and tethers clear. And attach a RET to the H2
Stowed
scoop.
and clear.
Copy. Attach a RET to the H2 scoop, locking it out with slack.
Today on the 4B channel, we'll see 3 old nickel hydrogen batteries removed and 2 new batteries, lithium ion, installed. And next Monday, we'll see 3 old nickel hydrogen batteries removed and 1 new lithium ion battery installed.
Copy. We'll use Jessica's PGT with the 6-inch for this operation. I'll have settings when you're ready.
There we go. Okay, I have the PGT. Copy. Want me to lock out the RET? I'm good so far. Thank you.
The final new batteries for the space station will arrive late this spring with a launch from JAXA, the Japanese Aerospace Agency. These will be for the 1B and 3B channels of the S6 truss, that's the starboard 6 truss on the International Space Station.
Those are good settings. Confirm tape line flush to the H1 scoop.
Inward. Okay, tape line is flush. I'm in a good position if you'd like for me to apply back pressure. Absolutely, I will take that. There.
When ready, release H1. Stand by.
We're on landing 2 right now.
And we concur. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
On the right side of Jessica Mears' helmet camera, you can see Christina Cook.
I am in a good position to trigger if Jessica, you can apply down pressure and keep it equal. Happen. And Stephanie, we have tape line flush on H1 and a nice perpendicular.
Copy. Release H1 about 8 turns to free spin.
Work. I can count turns.
Cook now working to release the first of 2 bolts to remove battery 1 from its position on the integrated electronics assembly.
And it started skipping at 5. And I see status indicator is unlocked.
Copy. 6 turns with skipping starting at 5 and status indicator unlock. It's the same settings for H2, Alpha 7, counterclockwise 2.
Okay, and I confirm that is still set.
Copy.
Tape line flush, now on H2.
Copy. Release H2 about 19 turns to free spin.
Okay, let's straight to you, Jessica, for bearing hook. Okay, and I can count turns and trigger if you can apply back pressure. Okay, got it, turn. See it jacking. Current. I believe we're all the way. Yep. There's 18 turns. I can see status indicators unlocked. Concur.
Copy 18 turn status indicator unlocked for H2. Can transfer the PGT back to Jessica and unlock the red.
Copy. All right, there's your PGT, Jessica. My red is unlocked.
Copy. Once Jessica's in place to receive the battery and double check local tether not on the outboard gap spanner, can hand off battery 1, giving Jessica the H1 scoop.
Copy that. Hey, Jessica, I will be handing you H1 once we're out of soft dock, so I'll let you position, and I can confirm, you can, I'm sure as well, that your local is not on the gap spanner. Copy, and I'm going to have to come around to the other side first, right? Yep. I will translate down there. Copy.
Now that Cook has successfully unbolted battery 1 from its place on the integrated electronics assembly, she will pass off the H1 scoop or that handling tool to her crewmate Jessica Meir. Meir is moving into place to receive that battery.
Copy.
We're out of soft dock. And
Copy.
get it ready to hand H1 to Jessica, but recognize she's still positioning.
Copy that.
All right, Jessica, I've got it oriented fins out, H1 towards you. I'm just going to slowly bring it around. Okay, it'll be there when you're ready.
We're currently an hour and a half into today's spacewalk, and Jessica Meir is positioning herself to receive battery 1 from Christina Cook. Meir will then soft dock the battery onto the external pallet for later disposal.
You should still have enough room to egress. Yep, I agree. And then we both have it now, so let me know when you're happy with your control. Okay, I have control of the battery. Okay, you have the battery. I have the battery. And I will, Stephanie, if you agree, I'll go ahead and egress.
We concur.
And it is coming back to you a little bit just because of your rep. Okay, understand. Just stay on your side of the APFR, a little inboard, so that we don't have any stretching. And I can see that my safety tether's in a good config, nothing snagged on it. Okay, copy. And I am to the bottom handrail, so I'll get a local down and I'll go for the battery. Copy.
Nice work removing the battery, and you can work together to shepherd it to the EP with fins away from structure.
Copy. I'm going to get as close as possible to you. Okay, and I have it. I have the battery. Okay, you have the battery. I'm letting go. Copy. Yep. Okay. And stretch it out a little bit more. Otherwise, I can come back a bit. Work. I have the battery. You have the battery. I have the battery. And then if you want to scrunch it towards you. That's about as far as I can go. Far, okay. And I'm going to stay on this handrail. So if I want, I'll position to receive it. I have the battery. Okay, you have the battery and letting go.
Cook has passed off the battery to her crewmate Jessica Meir. The team members are now at the external pallet. Meir will install it in external pallet slot Z. She'll use the pistol grip tool to drive one bolt and attach it to that EPZ spot.
I have the battery. You have the battery. I'm going to get one more handrail close to you, if you can scrunch in at all, so that you're working against my rep.
Factual,
honest news.
Not biased, but completely straightforward.
You're not emotionally going up and down.
Bringing morality back to newspapers.
The honest, old-fashioned journalism.
You're presenting the facts and letting the reader decide.
The Epoch Times is a fearlessly independent news media that publishes in 35 countries and 21 languages. Truth and tradition is our motto. Founded as an antidote to communist propaganda, today we're quickly becoming a household name across America. Our subscribers thank us for our relentless and unbiased coverage.
I've been part of the Epoch Times for nearly a decade because I've seen there's no other major media outlet in the world as devoted to real journalism. The Epoch Times has never had any corporate or political agenda. We only serve our readers, and we'll stay that way, no matter what.
We connected the dots around Spygate, the Obama administration's elaborate efforts against Trump's 2016 campaign. We often break news months ahead of other media on topics such as Chinese espionage, cyber warfare, subversion in America, and more. But our authoritative reporting didn't only just begin. We are tried and true.
Our paper was born out of the need to respond to a human rights catastrophe in China. It was enabled by the Communist Party's vicious and dishonest propaganda. We soon learned that Western media were picking up and amplifying the lies. The Epoch Times' truthful reporting exposed the Communist Party's lies for the Chinese people. But it also helped protect our Western audience. It disabused for them the lies in this propaganda. Our reporting has also helped uncover how communist ideas are taking root in our own country. The Epoch Times started as a small and unknown publication in one of the toughest media markets in the world. We have built it through hard work and trial and error.
We were founded in the year 2000 in Atlanta, Georgia, by Chinese Americans who had fled communist China. Our independent reporting came at a price. Our staff members in China were jailed and tortured for their reporting, some for as long as 10 years. Because our founders believed in truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance, the principles of the spiritual practice Falun Gong, They felt such sacrifices were worth it to ensure for the world an independent, honest media, one that would report on the most pressing issues of our time. As many major media are losing people's trust and declining further every day, the fastest growing newspaper in America delivers truth and tradition. Look us up today.